All right. Is this on? Let's see. 1 2 1 2 microphone check. Just trying to work out the kinks. Work out the kinks. Let's see if we got this. All right. This is pretty cool. Yes. All right. So this is my first live stream. This is actually pretty interesting. Trying to see what I can do as I work out the kinks, the kinks, the kinky kinks. There we go. Let's see. This is pretty interesting. It's pretty cool. All right, so this is where I just talk to myself. I could see how this could be interesting and fun, and I can definitely get addicted to the live streaming. That's for sure. It's just pretty cool, man. I guess a little about myself. I have a project out called LAIR. It's something of a love letter to Tales from the Crypt, Twilight Zone, that type of thing. Always loved those shows growing up. When I would watch them, it was just, what am I getting into this time? What am I going to be exposed to? Always loved horror, and the horror from Tales from the Crypt is definitely something I grew up on, and for me, you can't get enough of, and you can always transition horror into different realms of different realms of subgenres. You got your slashers, your creature features, you got your different type of stuff. What I'm gonna do here is just screen share your entire screen application window. Let's just do application window. Yeah, let's do that. All right, here we go. And let's talk about LAIR. So what could I say about LAIR again? It's just my take on horrors. It's my little love letter to the Tales from the Crypt Twilight Zone. It's a labor of love, man. Definitely anytime you crowdfund the project, it's not for the faint of heart. It's competition. You know, you're competing with the best of the best. You're competing with the Neil Gaimans, the Alan Moores. You're competing with everybody. You know, as a writer, that's what I'm competing with. So uh, it's kind of like, you know, a trek, a journey. You're trying to figure out yourself at the same time. I mean, as a writer, you kind of figure out more about yourself with each new work that you bring to the table. I know for one, with Lair, it was something that was running in my mind for years. It started out as a 10-page short story in one of my creative writing classes, and the idea came to me. I want to say when I was watching one of Stephen King's uh, 80s horror movies. I think it was not that I think it was the Langoliers. And I was just fascinated by the people that disappeared in that plane. Just in a snap of the finger, they were gone. And I was like kind of obsessed with their disappearance and where they end up. Like, okay, they disappeared. And I know the people that remain on the plane, were going through their little journey. Time was like stopped or warped. It was really freaky. That's a movie to watch again, just because it's been a while since I've seen it, but it stuck with me. And I wrote Lair, I want to say about a few months after that, if that, maybe more. And I was, like I said, fascinated with the disappearance and the vanishings of the people on the plane. Where for me, I'm like, and just me into always been into demon stories, demon movies, uh, stuff like The Exorcist, The Conjuring. Um, it fascinated me, and for me, it was like, okay, how could I twist that into something? The disappearance into something like demonic or hellish. And I'm just thinking, imagine these people just disappeared into a dimension where demons literally lurk right before possessing a human being. And that's kind of where I started uh with the building blocks of what will become Lair. Um and I think originally I had it as the Lair, and then but it was an interesting story. I know my professor at the time, uh he really liked it. And I transitioned that story eventually into a graphic novel. Originally, I pictured Lair to be someone like 120 pages, but of course, when you know crowdfunding, or when you're putting a comic out, and it's on a budget, you can't go crazy unless you have a disposable income, and then you can go crazy. But me, I'm a creator that survives on crowdfunding, because literally that's all I have. If I ever get to the level of where I am blessed or fortunate, where I'm doing well, uh, I'd like to not have the stress that comes with crowdfunding, and be able to just put my work out there for the masses to enjoy, and just slowly build myself up as a reputable creator. But for now, it's the crowdfunding grind for me. And that's pretty much what I'm doing with Lair. Um, in a nutshell, it's dark. It's 66 pages, and it's my first fully completed work. I got on the scene with crowdfunding in 2014 with my webcomic Under the Flesh, and that was my homage to the undead genre, to the zombie genre, because I grew up on Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead. How many other dead movies could we talk about? Zombie by Lucio Fulci. um and for me, Romero and Lucio Fulci, these guys, these are my unsung heroes, I guess. Then from that, it piggybacked into Resident Evil, the video game, Shaun of the Dead. Like, it goes on and on. So for me, I know everything's been done to death. I get it, but I know There's still a lot left in the tank as far as the zombie genre is concerned. I know there's a lot of B list and C list type stuff out there that's just painful to watch, and I've sat through my fair share, and I'm to the point where I'm convinced that I can create a story that will be intriguing and fresh enough, but still feel familiar enough within the genre to play on those undead tropes, but become something fresh in itself. And that's what Under the Flesh is. I kind of play on you know, the stereotypes, the zombie stereotypes, but at the end, as the story goes, I kind of slowly pull back on what you're used to, and kind of bring out a whole different spin on the thing. I flip everything on its head. I'm 3 issues in with that one, Under the Flesh, but that's one that I'm looking to come back and do. But as for Lair, um I'm looking to bring it to the convention circuit, my first time as a seller. I've been to conventions before as a fan, and it's amazing. I love it. But as a seller, I never done that rodeo, and I'm looking to do that because I need to get out there. I need a creative voice. I need to just show people the awesome work that is LAIR, because when you see it in physical copy, there's no way you look at it and you say I can't sell this. It just looks too damn good. And I don't mean to toot my own horn, but it's a nice looking book. Of course, I can't say I'm the greatest writer in the world, but I do bring something fresh to the table. I bring my own spin. It's not going to be something, that's, at least in, of course, in my opinion, something that's, been there, done that, but I got my own voice. I don't know. I'm just learning it. I'm discovering it. So with that, I'm trying to figure myself out. I jumped onto the comics gate movement, the bandwagon, so to speak, hoping to put my book out there because, again, when you're an indie creator who hasn't hit up a con, you're looking for any type of exposure. You're looking for somewhere where you can at least, see your work valued and respected among other peers, even though, they may not know you or know what you're about. But, judging a book by its cover, you can see, okay, just from the cover, this stuff looks professional and pro quality. And that's, my ticket in, or what I thought. I'm in line with the movement. I do feel like we need to bring some freshness. I think consumers need to, they it's about it's about revolution, man. It's about a rebellion. It's about, hey, you know what? When mainstream media is in a position to set trends and to dictate, the market, to use that platform in the art, in the sake of art, to abuse and to rehash political ideology to the point where it's not even in a respectful way, is just ham-fisted, um you know crammed into a this nugget of a ball that just is forced down your throat without being able to masticate it and swallow it calmly. So in my opinion, that's what, for me, Comicsgate is, to show something that is new, that has merit, and that's trying to show that comics is a medium for is rife with different type of narrative potential, and the platform is perfect for storytelling. If a picture, if one picture could say 1,000 words, or one picture says 1,000 words, just imagine a comic book, man, with all those panels, what you're getting without, the dialogue and word balloons. So for me, comics is the tip top, storytelling, medium, and that's my opinion. I have read prose, I have read books, and definitely a good writer can make your brain act as a fully fleshed out film projector. So that is also important, and reading is definitely, we'll say, fundamental, right? Um, as far as comics is concerned, the medium may be looked at as not serious. I know Bill Maher had his comment in regards to Stan Lee passing away, and comics not being something serious or whatnot. But you can go into depth at how deep a comic book can be, and how it's digested, being with the images and the storytelling. There's a lot going on in there. It's if you like movies for the special effects, imagine a comic book with the awesome artwork. you know and I think, as for me, being Latin American, I mean, I feel like our demographic needs to, um, read a lot more. I know as a kid, even me, I'm guilty of not, reading as much as I should have. Um, you know, and that's just more of growing up, and just for me, it was digital, TV, video games. That's what I was big on, movies for sure. And but that also helped flesh my storytelling wit, I guess you can say. I ended up wanting to do movies initially because again, I've watched so many movies and have been left hung and dry with some crap endings, with some stuff that's just like, really, how did this become produced and financed and made into a movie? And you just feel like you can do your own thing. You could, make your own mark. So I enlisted in a film school. That was interesting. I've done student films. I've written some screenplays. I've written some screenplays, and I've grown a lot and learned a lot in the 10 years that I've been writing. And it's hard to make it as a screenwriter because you don't have the backing of any visual art. You might have a great idea and a great story, but to execute it in a script is a feat that is definitely not for the faint-hearted. It's definitely something that takes time. It's a masterpiece in the making, each script. Of course, when you get to the point where you're connected, I mean, you can just churn out a script and it could not be the best thing, but again, it's just you get the idea. And then there's how many times you got a live script that's constantly changing before the movie's done. But when you're a beginner, you got to write that perfect script and you're scrutinized on each entry. So again, I always wanted to do film, uh, directing, that kind of thing. But I feel comics is just that happy medium for me, where it's like that feeling you get when you see a movie if you enjoy it, like creating a comic and seeing the panels fleshed out. How you wrote it out to what the artist you know put out on as a final vision, that rendition and everything. It's such an addiction as a writer for me to witness that. Um, so I do hope one day Lair could open a door for me uh, to look for some serious work in the industry. I'd definitely love to. I'm not a yes man. I'll be straight up. So as much as I would love to do work for Marvel, having an editor will, oversee your stuff with a magnifying glass and tell you not to do this, not to do that. I don't go with that. I've never been good at micromanagement, never in my life. And art is not to be restricted, not to be handcuffed. It's to be let loose and set free. And even when you're dealing with other people's work, if you have a respect for it but you're given free reign, you can make some magic. You could definitely make some great new stories. So for me, if I could ever get that as a creator, I'd welcome that with open arms. But if I'm going to be restrained, kept within a box, I wouldn't be up for that. I don't care how much you pay me. I have my um you know I have, how do you call it, I have my rules too. I have my um extenuating factors that as a creator, I'm not here to milk stuff. That's what mainstream media does, that and that's how comics get formed. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to just create stuff that for me is interesting, that does reflect the world around us, because as much as people don't want politics in our work, I'm sorry, but storytelling is great platform to toy with ideas, to perspectives. Don't get too overwhelming. I think when it's to that extent, that's where the work suffers. At the end of the day, you have to stay true to your characters, you got to stay true to your story, but don't let it suffer, or the potential of a story suffer, because you just want to get your viewpoint across. I mean, I'm sorry, if you can't do that creatively within the construct of your own work, then it's not worth it. And a lot of times I'll read stuff or I'll see stuff on Netflix and it's like, okay, I get the idea, I get what you're trying to do, and it's just, it comes to the point where it's just like it's regurgitated, to the point where it's like, I get it. You don't gotta bash me over the head with it. You could be subtle with your approach, nuanced. You don't have to, you know, bang the nail, bang the hammer over the nail to the point where you split the dang nail if that's even possible. But I feel like entertainment and mainstream pop culture that there's a lot still left, um, for ingenuity, for freshness, for innovation. And that hopefully that's what I could do with Lair and Comicsgate. Is just to do my own thing, and pretty much show what I bring to the table, as a creator. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, is to do your own work, is to be who you are, and not, you know, you got to be true to yourself. You have to, especially as a creator. That's what I'm about. I'm trying to be true to myself. Um, so far, Lair is at 4,900, hoping it can make 5K. Um, will it? Hopefully. I mean, I have a little stretch goal there to give out a cool mini poster. I think I show it here. I teased that a bit. Where we at? And so, I mean, I'm trying to get there. Here we go. Every physical copy will be prepackaged with exclusive 11 by 17 poster. Sebastian did that. It looks pretty darn neat. Um, and I mean, like I said, this is me being the first time creator trying to, prove himself. And my whole stance with Comicsgate. If you're someone that just judges someone on Comicsgate, right? If they align themselves with Comicsgate, and you liken them to what you don't like about Comicsgate, you just being, a person that is judging everybody by, you know, um, something that you don't agree with, and it's to the point where you will never give them a chance. And you might like their work, but because this one says he's comic or this one says something bad about comic or this or that, it's like, you know, you're ostracized forever. I mean, I recently made a tweet about Comicsgate, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a human being. I was just, I guess you could say, I was in my feelings, and I'm gonna try to find that tweet. Um, where was it? Pardon me as I scroll through a couple things right here. I'm just trying to get to that controversial tweet. Where is it at? Okay, I think we're getting there. Oh, here we go. Haven't hashtagged Comicsgate as of late because it's been more comics fake to me. The readership's been amazing. Can't say the same for the leadership. The movement dissipated into another fraternity. I guess I missed the part where they were looking to build up new creators. So I had a buddy of mine who put me up on Comicsgate, and he, explained it to me, and I'm like, wow, I really need to be plugged in. I can't believe I was missing out on such a movement. I've been a bit aloof as far as the drama and social media because it's just so much, toxicity on social media where it's just like I shy away from it. Like I'm just serious. That's just me. I'm that dude. If you're looking for drama with me, I'm not the guy that starts it. And I don't like to feed into it. I'm done with that, man. I'm getting old, I guess. I'm a dad right now, first time dad. I got so much on my plate. I don't got time in the day to argue about comic book nonsense. I get the mainstream where that direction is going, and I feel that. But my buddy put me on to the Comicsgate movement. I talked with a couple of people. I got featured on a few live streams, and things were looking good. Yeah, there's no leadership per se. For me, my only little gripe that I had was just trying to make it to the biggest platform in Comicsgate, and that was to be featured on EVS's live stream. He likens it to the Johnny Carson show. So I was just trying to make the Johnny Carson show. I know I had a good product, and I know according to the requirements, you got to show that you're a creator. You got to show that you're doing your thing. Um, and I know he takes his time, but hey, at the end of the day, if you see someone that has a potentially nice product, and Comicsgate means something, and you want to see it expand, my mindset is, yeah, let's feature some prominent new creators. Although there's been some bad, blood with a few of them, and I get that, but everything's on a case by case basis. Uh, you know, I super chatted over $100 into Ethan's pocket, just trying to get, just try to make it, just try to make it. He did, in one of the earlier live streams, he did say some cool things. He said, "Hey, he'd like to get me on the show, see what I'm made of." And for me, I was excited because it seemed like, hey, this is the moment I've been waiting for, you know, because I like to see myself as a winner. Because I've lost a lot to get to where I have to be. I failed a lot to get to where I have to be. So when he said that, it was reassuring. It was nice. It was like, hey man, someone's noticing the work, and that's cool. I know he gets inundated with a lot of requests, but that comes with the territory. If you made yourself to a certain, level, and power to him for that, never going to, take that away. Um, as much as you want that responsibility or not, there's going to be people that's going to look to you to say, hey man, like, you're someone I admire just because of how you got there. And I would love to emulate that and show you that, hey, I know you're thinking I'm probably just like everyone else, but let me give you a chance to show you how, I could fit in. Um, so for me, it was just a matter of just wanting to be, recognized and accepted by one of the head honchos as far as just what I offer as a new creator in the form of layer in my work. So that, and having a few, you know I guess, just super chats go unnoticed. It was just it just hurt a little bit. Um, again, I know nothing's owed to anybody, and I'm with that. No one ever gave me anything, and I crowdfunded over 17, almost, I want to say, over $20,000 on Kickstarter, and now with Indiegogo, and trying to get my stuff out there. I mean, 20,000 ain't six figures, but for someone like me who's, uh, trying to do his own thing and do his own hustle, it's something. Maybe one day I'll make it to that level where I could do the six figures thing. That hashtag would be kind of cool. But my goal is not. My goal is to just to be able to keep doing what I'm doing through crowdfunding, because that's the only way I can. So that's what I do as a creator. So basically, I guess some people didn't like that I put comics fake, but hey, people say, hey, there ain't no leaders. So, what you upset about? So, you know, I guess I'm just that Ronin. You could call me the Comics Gate Ronin, who doesn't have a master, who doesn't have a leader, and who just, roams the countryside, with his ideology, his interpretation of faith, of what Comicsgate is. And if there's a couple people that happen to follow his steps, he got a little tribe, then, so be it. More power to that, because that's I guess what I'd be. And the people who back me, will see what I bring to the table, and if they like it, they'll continue backing. And that's the idea. Um, but yeah, man, that's just something that I said. Again, I'm always gonna say, what's on my mind. Again, I don't look to start any drama, but you know, I haven't hashtag Comicsgate as of late because it's been more comics fake to me. The readership has been amazing. Got some awesome backers through that. Can't say the same for the leadership. Again, there's no leadership, so no doubt. But from what I understood, with my buddy putting me to comments, he's like, "Hey, they feature creators. So for me, that's what I understood going in. That you'll get to that point. Um, so it comes with the territory. If you have something that you want to see blossom and flourish, you know, you gotta cultivate it, you know. You gotta water that plant, you know. Whether if you don't want to or not, and you know, as EVS is not, you know, the main figurehead behind Comicscape, but I guess just because his popularity and his charisma and his, you know, magnetic personality, it was just natural. Like it's kind of befell to it kind of, you know, fell to him and him saying himself, you know, like, hey, my show is a Johnny Carson for creators. So for me, it's a challenge. Like, hey, you know, he looked for entertainment. He was saying, hey, I don't want people to be boring. I don't want people to, you know, you gotta have a voice, you gotta be interesting. I mean, I might sound a little monotone now, but I mean, I think if any of you seen any of the live shows, live streams I've been on, um, I could keep a convo going. I got a little bit of a, you know, magnetic aura myself. I'm an interesting guy. My story is interesting. I've done some interesting stuff, and I'm still continuing my, you know, way of being interesting. I know I did some super chats that were within the parameters of entertainment. I know he had what was it, the Rainbow Brute celibacy challenge. I think that was cool. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty cool. So for me, I'm like, hey, I'm willing to take that challenge. That's entertainment, man. I would have recorded myself every day, like do a live, like a live YouTube stream where you can see my face and just be like, "Hey, this is day 4 of the celibate, the you know the RBCC celibacy challenge. Hey, this is day whatever. Hey, like I'm down for that. Like I was down for that. I know I joked around saying like, hey, if I got X amount of backers within a day or within a week or whatever over the weekend that I'd get a tattoo or something like that's me playing the entertainment angle. You know, I get how that goes. But for me in my life right now, where I'm at, I'm trying to balance crazy work life because I work at a high school. I do some counseling. It's man, our troubled youth in America. That's a story. That's a story for another day. That could be its own freaking YouTube live stream, like consistently. So that's just my heart goes out to a lot of our troubled youth. So I try to be a hero to them, try to be someone they can open up to, non-judgmental at all. Okay, because we're not perfect, man. So that's just me, and I've been able to open up to a lot of kids in what I do, and I appreciate that. I've been put there for a reason. And then you're balancing all that heavy workload, and then you come home. You got your wife, your lovely wife. You know, you got this. You know, your child. So you got your family life. That's another juggle. So it's like I'm that circus guy, and I got the work ball I'm juggling, and I got the family ball I'm juggling. But it's not just two balls I'm juggling because then you got the writing ball, right? Me as a writer, trying to do my thing as a writer, trying to self promote. So I got the writer ball, just the writer ball, because you're writing, creating content. That's a writer. I put the little writer ball in, boom. And then the next one you have is promoting, right? You got to promote your stuff. You got to go on live streams. You got to, you know, be active on social media to an extent. That's the promotion ball. So it's already got like 4 balls going, you know, promotion ball. Then you got, you know, your YouTube channel. If you want to do that, that's goes in with promotion. It's hard to really get out there and self promote. Like if you don't have a job where you're just at home or you could just focus on just that, you know, it's very tough. It's extremely tough. So I'm trying to juggle all these balls. So the juggle balls. Oh, I'm the ball juggler here. So it's tough. It's very tough. Um. So yeah, that was just, you know, I'm not into drama, man. Like I said, I'm not into drama. So I got some people comment like I dodge the drama for the most part, just find good tent via the hashtag. Yeah, definitely. And then I got critics here, chill Gilly, that ain't cool. A lot of funny came from the CG crowd. That's true. Saying comments figures spit to our faces. Don't do this, brother. You know, I know that we're not owed anything. We're responsible for building ourselves up. Yeah, no doubt. If we get on a major platform, it's a privilege. True that. But then me just saying, hey, it's just venting, you know. Caught a lot of hate from aligning with CG and the spit in the face feeling. Those are how I felt in regards to those who haven't kept their word with me. I definitely know I ain't owed anything, but if someone gives you their word, I expect to be owed that at least. Yeah, so I had, you know, just I had some situations where, just, word wasn't kept. And I mean, I guess I'm just human in that respect. I kind of, I mean, I come from where I get there's snakes, I get there's backstabbers, I get that. But for me, word is bond. Like that's just something I always had. Like, your yes is yes, your no is no. Hey, you know, the last thing you got left is your word. Be a person of your word. Like that's just how that's how I was raised and stuff. Hey, you say something, do it. That's just how I've been. So, sometimes you get a little emotional, not too much, but just if that isn't respected, at least in my sense, that's just, and then again, not dumping on the whole community, but again, I don't know, it's just me, venting. To be honest, this was Jack Shaw. Don't pull a Mindy, man. I'm planning on backing your book. Don't ruin it. I don't know what Mindy did, what Mike said. I don't know. Like sometimes it's hard to to keep up with all this stuff. And mind you, I'm getting bombarded with these messages while I'm at school, and I can't look. I just can't. I'll say a tweet early. That's just how I felt at the time. Um, I remember tweeting war campaign, trying to see if I get on this show. Try to get on drawn and quartered. I can't draw, but I was trying to get you know a Sebastian on there. Um, uh, and then as well, comic shop. I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying to hustle. So I was trying to push Lair, physical copies of Lair, to some comic shops in the area, and you get the ones that are anti-comic hate that are actually privy to all that, and just judge you in that way. So for me, it's like it's just wanting to be accepted as far as being a professional. Like I'm not a professional, right? But when you trying to work with professionals, right, and they give you their word, right? So it's like, what more can you have than that? If you have like a professional giving you their word and then just nothing comes of it, it's just like, okay, so where's the credibility at? I know ego tripping, things get to, could get to people's heads or whatnot. But for me, it's like, hey, if you say something, that should be honored and respected. I think it's me, when, EBS said, hey, we got to get you on here, see what you're made of. Maybe he was just blowing hot steam. Maybe he was just, just chirping, just not, just, hey, whatever. Because again, I was just coming on. So maybe I'm just like, just a no one. So I'm definitely a nobody to him, but I'm trying to, get him to look at my book. So maybe he's like, guys, this is just somebody that's probably ain't gonna live up to it, or just back up or he probably not going to take what I'm saying seriously. But I did, and I guess maybe that's just the naivety in me. Um, but oh yeah, so here's the thing: I've been crowdfunding on a low scale since 2014, and even canceled a Kickstarter to show loyalty to CG when it was said that CG doesn't support the Kickstarter platform. I left 2K and more on the table because I believed in what it stood for. I was all in, my dude. So here's the thing. So the dumping on the community, all that, like I'm not trying to dump on the community. I'm just saying that I show like I gave something to the community, whether it was even acknowledged or not. Because I had a live Kickstarter going on. And I remember, someone from CG pretty much saying, hey, we don't support Kickstarter. If you want to be CG, you can't be Kickstarter. You can't do both. You can't. Okay. So for me, I saw the money coming into Comicsgate. I saw the movement. I'm serious in what I do. So I felt, hey, man, I think, I can get that respect. I think I could show, what I bring to the table and, I can recoup. And I like the idea of the movement anyway. I like that as you being, um, against the propaganda, against the the antics of the mainstream media. You like that underdog story. And I kind of like that this force, going up against the big two or the mainstream media. I see it like as wrestling. You have like your main group And you have like this group coming out of nowhere, like you, who are these guys? But they're challenging like the big dogs. Like I just always loved a good challenge. So the fact that I, canceled a Kickstarter, you're talking about, over $2,000 for, Under the Flesh that I was doing at the time. That's something. You know what I mean? That was like, okay, if that's what I got to do to show that, like I'm willing to do that. And I had successfully crowdfunded Lair by the skin of my teeth on Kickstarter. And I just did a print order just enough, to satisfy the backers. I didn't get nothing extra, not much anything extra to even sell at cons. No way. So I needed another big printing. I didn't have the money to do a big printing. So I said, you know what? Now's the time, to bring Lair to Indiegogo and try to make some noise. So that's another thing, I don't got money like that. When you just even cancel a Kickstarter, that's just, again, as a creator, it's not a good look to even the people who supported me on Kickstarter. So um, hopefully I can repair that, just by continuing my work and getting stuff done to show that I'm not, one to rest on my laurels. But yeah, man. Um, so, you say something bad about Comicsgate or just controversial, you get them out in droves to respond to you. When you're doing your thing, hey, if you get noticed, you get noticed. If not, hey, you're not owed anything, and I get that. But I'm just one to say, hey, if we're a brotherhood here, hey, why don't we try to push up another brother if we can? Hey, why don't we try? Like that's the mindset of who I am as a person and what I bring, and how I view life. I'm someone that, even I'm a nobody, right? I'm a nobody, and I'll get people on Facebook, or I'll get people even on Twitter. Hey, can you check my stuff out? Hey, can you look at that? Hey, I'll look at stuff. I will answer them. You know, I wish people the best of luck. I'll be like, hey, thanks for sharing. Like that's just me. I mean, I do that. So I can imagine if I ever get to a big, if I ever get to the high pecking order, there's definitely going to be people saying, looking for a leg up. And if I see anyone looking for a leg up that has a book that looks half as good as Lair, I'm gonna be, obliged to lend a helping hand. That's just me. So anyway, I'm not in for drama. I'm in for business. I'm just trying to do what I do, trying to offer what I can do, my skill set as a creator to make good comics, and that's what I'm trying to do. We're trying to see if we get up to 5K. I definitely have a lot of other projects in the back burner. Definitely got other stuff that's waiting to be put out on Indiegogo and crowdfunding platforms. So Layer is just the first of many. And all I look to do is just continue to grow as a creator, as a writer. This has been my dream, and I'm definitely hoping to achieve that. And here's one. Let's see, nail on the head from the web put here. Okay, I feel that's because the hashtag is different from person to person. To me, as a consumer, Comicsgate is a community of people searching for better comics and better relationships with the creators. Cool. To the creators, it's a new avenue to showcase themselves and their dream projects. This dude hit it on the head for me. I mean, that's for me. That's what that's what I view Comicsgate as. So you just want to be able to just show your stuff, and hopefully, you know, get more eyes to see what would be great work. Malin has something here. Are you a writer? Have you sent Mark your samples? Are you going to let these other writers walk away with your job? That's a good point. Um, I sent a few writing samples. Let's see if I remember where. See if I. Oh, here we go. Here's a writing sample that I sent to Malin and crew. This file can't be previewed. Why not? Why can I not preview this file? Why are they not letting me preview this? Why are you not letting me preview my own file? My computer's gatekeeping my own ass. All right, so here, Night Cross. So this was something I did back in the day. I want to say I can't remember, maybe 2015, if that. I sent this pitch to Image Comics. Of course, me delusions of grandeur, thinking this could be picked up by Image because Image they could pick from the cream of the crop of people who are already established in the industry. Who am I? But anyway, Nightcross is best is best described as like Punisher meets the Exorcist. So if that sounds interesting, yeah, that's pretty much the idea behind it. So this is Arthur Bishop. He's the main character. He's a detective, and his body gets inhabited by an angel, not by a demon. So that's where I'm at. And this is just a bit of my writing sample here, and the cool art by Mr. Bradford. He had that Mignola style. I loved it, man. And oh, man, sometimes you see this stuff and you just wish, you could be able to finish the dang story instead of just a snippet of it. Um, I have the whole thing inked fully, but that's just the first like 20 something pages. Maybe I'll bring it out, again. Maybe I'll try to see if I could touch base with him, but it's such a, I don't know. Of course, this is just me because when you see your own work, it looks so good. But so here, basically, he got promoted from officer, right, to detective, and he hasn't been finding success as a detective. He's swallowed up in his work. He's engulfed in his work. He's not spending time with his family. He got his brothers in town. His wife, they got a their marriage is on the fritz, and he's just wrapped up in the past glory. He's looking at the days where he was really good as a cop, and now he has to deal with the failure as a detective, not being able to close cases, or just not. He's just not even built up to what the expectations were. So again, he looks back at the past. He's looking at son that died shortly after being born, um and that's what got him, you know makes him wish he was dead. So the moment he wishes suicide, or he wishes he was dead and he really means it, he opens the avenue for Mortalis, who's one of the demons. I call him a demonarch, because he possesses with the intent to kill and harvest your soul. So he's basically, a cold wave chills through my bones. My hand grabs my gun. I'm paralyzed by an impulse I can't control until I somehow fight back against what I thought I wanted. And he's like, pride. So basically, he's fighting back against killing himself. He doesn't know, like, that's just, and that action of first he wants to die opens it up to Mortalis, but the fact that he's fighting the demon instinctually, that pride that he got, just keeping him, that it opens up, it opens up the, let's just say, the floodgates of heaven, right? Or not heaven, but just angelic floodgate, right? So he didn't want to die. He's getting possessed, right? And right here we see, side by side. Don't want to die. Something happening, right? Not like this, but I lose it. Feeling energy surging. Pure evil controlling me. This is the end. Pride no longer matters. Then crackoosh, blam, like he shoots, right? What? I see time stop. Only thing breaking the silence is this thought. Until another voice echoes in my head, sounds like whispering thunder. Bishop. And we see everything stopped. And it's, man, this is so cool. I'm Kyle, your awakening. Your choice to live or die is yours. I can stop that bullet, but you need to believe it can be stopped. I believe. I believe. And then think, the bullet just stops. Kyle, why are you speaking into my mind, and what tried to kill me? Arthur Monroe Bishop, I sacrificed my birthright to save you. He's an angel that came straight down. I'm the divine intervention that kept you from succumbing to the demon mortalist. You're quite the corporeal attraction. A demon arc, the most powerful of demons, was drawn to you. Its desire was to possess your body and harvest your soul by way of suicide. He's like, what? So a demon wanted me dead, and now I'm talking to an angel. So again, this is just, I don't know. I think this is something that could be published by Image. Maybe I'm wrong. Um, Maybe John Malin sees it and thinks it's worthy enough to work on Graveyard Shift 2. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, man, this is just what I do. Hopefully Nightcross could come back to life. I got a lot of these failed pitches to Image that I don't plan on keeping them as failures. So I just got to build up my other stuff and come back to the old ones. But that's a little bit about Nightcross and that pitch. And here's a little bit about LAIR. And guys, definitely if any of you are able to check out this little stream here I did, I like to call Gilly's live snipe because I'll just start doing live streams whenever, wherever, about whatever, and that's just gonna be what I do. And until I could get a decent enough um where I can get people chatting and make the channel a little bit entertaining. So I'm definitely gonna like right here. I gotta like this. What am I if I don't like this, right? I gotta like this and get that one like in there. I'm getting that one like in there. But yeah, guys, I know I was gonna talk a little bit about LAIR, but again, I'm coming into my own as a YouTuber as well, trying to figure my voice out. Talk a little bit about Comicsgate, a little bit about LAIR, a little bit about just me and my plans as a future creator and what I bring to the table as a writer, storyteller, comic booker, entertainment personality. I do it all, baby. Um, I wish I did it all. I'm just trying to survive in this world, man. I'm just a small fish in a real big ocean. But in actuality, I do stand by me being a Ronin. I'm a Ronin with no leader, holding on to his dream, holding on to that faith, the way he interprets it, and you know, demonstrating his craft in the process. And if anyone likes, they follow, they follow. I'll give you my heart and soul uh for that, and that's for real. Anyway, guys, it's been real. And I just realized I did this live stream without even sharing the link out. Jeez, I'm such a noob. I'm so noobish. Anyway, I guess this will be it. I'll probably share the link after. Oh gosh, I'm such a noob. Anyway, it's been it's been real. Gilly's live, Snipe, LAIR, Indiegogo. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's definitely worth a back or two or three. Appreciate you guys. And I'm out.